Good afternoon from Ukraine. Video point 02. So I just put a video out explaining my situation and all I got was abuse. So this is for the people that actually know what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years. Okay, but let me just in case put it to you about my history before I get accused of being a beggar, being told I should come back to the UK and earn a proper salary with the rest of us, and being told that I am fake, or I'm pretending to be in Ukraine because I'm English and I'm trying to scam someone. You guys know what I've been doing out here for 2.5 years. For 10 and a bit years, I served the British fucking army, excuse my language. And I've done several tours and, you know, I served with honor. Now, after my service, I became a close protection operative because the military didn't really back me as a single man and pretty left me on my ass. Okay? Ukraine started and I felt that I could do something good out here. So I came out as a volunteer and pretty much gave up everything, my life savings, everything I had, and came out to Ukraine, delivering aid, helping the people of Ukraine, training the civilians, looking after them, and being helped by fundraisers and charities and my own money to not only train civilians and soldiers, to deliver medical aid, and to actually fight. Okay, I ended up becoming contracted because it became legal. I ended up training more soldiers in the hundreds. One of the first people out here, okay? I ended up going to war and nearly losing my life. I lost some good friends. I ended up losing body parts and almost lost my life and had to go back to the UK to save my arm and leg. I then came back to the Ukraine and carried on my mission, delivering vehicles, delivering aid, evacuating other soldiers, okay? And finally going back to war and defending this country. Now my situation is this. My salary has been stopped because of legal reasons and I cannot get a penny for the last 2 months. I'm stuck. I need to get to Kyiv to speak to the office, but the military won't help me. There isn't any money in the UK, so people aren't helping. And there isn't any charities out there that are willing to help at the moment, not because there just isn't any money. So I'm asking the people who actually know me to assist me, please. I need your help. Okay? Call me a beggar if you want to call me a beggar. I really don't care. This is the first time I've actually asked for help. I've raised thousands for the soldiers and civilians out here, and I've never asked for help for myself. Okay, I'm injured, I'm paralyzed, I was disemboweled, I was shot 3 times and blown up. So don't tell me that I need to go back to the UK and earn a living, because I tell you what, that's all I've ever done in my life. But right now I need your help. £5, £2, whatever it is, I need to raise some money so I can travel. My vehicle's broken, it's damaged, I haven't had enough money to fix it. Okay, I need money to feed myself and I need to travel so I can remedy this issue. So I can carry on getting paid, so I can carry on doing the work out here, saving lives, training soldiers, and help deliver aid. Now I know there's going to be haters out there, and there was on the last video saying I'm not a hater, but you need to stop being a beggar. I am not a beggar. I'm asking for my friends, my family, and the people around the world that care about Ukraine and care about the fact that I'm actually working very hard to help me help them. I've left my PayPal, and if you want to help, great. And if you don't, no need to be nasty about it. Have your opinion, that's fine, but move on. Because until you come out here and until you see what's really going on, until you actually know my story, jog on. Okay? And the rest of you that have assisted me in the past and know my story, thank you so much for your assistance. I love you all. Slava Ukraine.
is 6:50. A man from Bristol who was lucky to survive coming under Russian bombardment while fighting with the Ukraine army has now gone back to the conflict.
Sharif Amin spent months in a military hospital in Odessa before being evacuated to the UK for surgery.
And since then, he's been recovering and training for his return. And Emma Vardy caught up with him as he prepared to rejoin his unit.
Delta! Cover and fire! Charlie, move!
A soldier may leave the war, they say, but the war never leaves a soldier.
What we're going to do is go through the drills of...
When Sharif was evacuated from Ukraine, he felt he had unfinished business.
OK, so we're just going to be covering fire, bounding back.
But the injuries that left him close to death would take months of recovery.
I didn't know whether I'd ever be able to operate as a soldier or a humanitarian again, or if I'd ever be able to make it back to Ukraine and fulfill the promises.
Last October, Sharif suffered horrific injuries when his unit came under fire from Russian tanks.
OK, off for another operation. Wish me luck.
After undergoing surgeries to save his arm and leg in a military hospital in Odessa, we met up as he was being flown back to the UK.
Last time I saw you, you were not walking or anything like this. You look completely different.
Well, it's that stubbornness that gets me going.
And he's been training here in Gloucester, getting ready to return.
So this part of my arm is now filled in with this part of my left leg.
Wow.
OK, they've sewn it up and they've put most of the wrist back together. Head physiotherapy on the right leg, skin grafts taken from this side. This arm was cut open from the shoulder to the elbow. From the time I had surgery in Ukraine to the time I got to UK, they took out 19 different pieces of metal. And I've even fabricated a thumb so I can handle my weapon system and my pint.
So the thumb's gone?
Oh, the thumb's gone. I've got two gloves, one for a pint and one for a weapon.
OK.
But all joking aside, despite the physical challenges, he's now rejoining the Ukrainian army.
Your eyes peeled, guys.
And says this time he'll be undertaking assignments evacuating others.
We're going in to the hot zones behind enemy lines to evacuate civilians and soldiers that have been injured, like I was.
It sounds like that could be some pretty risky missions, though.
Well, it's war, and Ukraine is going through hell at the moment, and I just think they deserve a little bit more help.
It was simple for me. It was, I could sit in the army in Denmark and do nothing, or go and do something.
John and Nikki, a former soldier who left the Danish military, are going with him.
No one has ever seen anything like it, I think. It's different from Afghan, Iraq and Syria, and it's actually an army you're fighting against, not just terrorists or Taliban and insurgents.
I've seen just horrific stuff. It shouldn't be happening. It just shouldn't be.
But despite Ukraine's need, they're well aware that going out there goes against the advice of British officials.
On the one hand, a lot of people admire what you're doing, but the authorities in the UK would much rather you don't do this.
No, but I know how many lives I've saved, plus or minus. So does he, and that's important.
Do you get a lot of people asking?
Oh, yeah.
Saying they want to go then?
Yeah. I'm getting messages weekly of ex-soldiers.
People might look at you and go, this looks like an adventure. I want some of that. What do you say to them?
All they got to do is look at the pictures of me injured, and that doesn't look exciting at all. I think, if anything, it's put a lot of people off. You know, who wants to be blown up and shot? No one wants to be blown up and shot. They can see the pain I'm in.
And back to a safe area.
Also going with them is Ewan, a volunteer trained in conflict first aid who helped with Sharif's evacuation. Now he's joining the team as an armed medic.
You're a medic, these guys are ex-soldiers. What's the motivation for you to do this?
I just know that I'm capable of doing it. It's about keeping them alive so they can keep doing the jobs that they do. I've seen so much out there that I try not to think too hard on what I might go into.
One person under no illusions is Rob, who's ex-SAS and now trains people to work in conflict zones around the world.
Yeah, there's guys out there making a difference positively, and there's also guys going into the environment that are making a negative impact as well. The Walter Mitty types that go out there, failed in the military, didn't get through basic training, did a bit of airsofting, and all of a sudden they want to go out into a hostile environment. It's not the same. In this case, these guys are very competent and they've done an awful lot of training prior to departing.
Still don't know exactly how many British volunteers are in Ukraine, but commanders out there say there are